Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your Boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, Helena Bonham Carter, back at it again with another episode of the Boy Time Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Babby and Paul.
Hello.
We've actually got a slam dunk episode for you today. The past 2 to 3 days have been absolutely crazy, like news-wise. It started pretty slow, like 3 days ago, but then yesterday just flipping slam dunk. So much stuff happened, and then there was some, not as much stuff today, but we got some stuff to talk about. So, but before we get into that, how was your guys' weeks?
Pretty good. A little of the events, of course, like usual.
Yeah.
I don't know about Babby. Is your week eventful?
I'm just
That's
getting
a good-
progressively louder as the weeks go.
Yeah, well, Babby's getting close to graduating. I don't know if we talked about that last week on the podcast,
Nope.
but it is soon, like a couple weeks, right?
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the diploma cover. I just need the piece of paper.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I should probably start figuring that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are
you
you
probably should.
graduating?
Because a lot of my stuff is due like
Most
in 3
likely,
days.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, you should probably work on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not putting my picture or my name in like the virtual graduation ceremony, but that stuff's due pretty quick. So if you care about that, then
Oh,
I
wanna get on
really
that.
don't.
yeah, I didn't think you did, but
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
I've learned the name of like one person my whole time at DMAC that's not a teacher, so like I really don't think anyone knows me
Nice.
anyways.
Yeah.
I know people, and I'm still not doing it because why would I want my name on a slideshow that 5 people are going to see?
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's
It's a lot
so
of effort to put that on
monumental.
a slide, you know.
And,
Well,
like,
I'll have
four
my
of
own
them are
piece of
just-
paper.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
4 of them are just moms waiting with their phone out, waiting until their kid is
Yeah.
up.
The only thing more lame than a graduation ceremony is a virtual graduation ceremony. So
Yeah, I want to know how many people like actually watch those with their family and stuff.
not much, I don't think.
Not much. Okay.
But like, I don't know. I'll get my funny piece of paper. I'll turn 21. I can order margaritas in the Mexican restaurant instead of getting the stupid Bud Light ones, and then I'm good.
Woo.
Chill.
I don't actually no. I have had a margarita. I think my dad made me one a year ago or something. That's pretty exciting. I can't wait to be able to drink alcohol.
Yeah. I've been legal for like 4 months to drink alcohol, and I haven't.
What? You haven't done it yet?
No. Because I'm never like, I'm gonna go get some alcohol.
When we're when
Not
we
me.
come back down, we're gonna go to a gas station. We're gonna get carded. Me and you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna get a Bud Light. What are they? The Limeritas. We're gonna get one of those.
I
Even
really hate
better,
those.
Because
I
those
know
are
where
great.
I know where my
They're
dad is
so bad.
storing a thing of rum.
Rum.
Not
Where
pirates.
you get some rum, get some ham. We can get some rum ham.
That's true.
Maybe we could do that. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah, I don't.
Although I have a feeling rum is probably a bit stronger than your average beer, so.
Yes.
Beer's like 4% alcohol. Rum's like 70%. So
Rum is like actual liquor.
it's like actual liquor. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do that later. It'll be fun. After my 21st birthday, of course. But
Man,
that's
we gotta
coming
wait
up.
for this dude.
I mean, Babby's is right after mine. So
Oh,
Yeah.
we gotta wait for that.
I've been drinking for 3 years, so
yeah. That's fine.
I just want to be able to order my own stuff. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I don't want the off-brand or the leftovers of what everybody else gets.
Hmm.
Dumb.
Mm.
We'll get there. Just
Don't forget
like
to
a
get
month
your
and a half.
horizontal driver's license.
Oh yeah, that's
I
true.
have to get that
The
too.
horizontal
That'll
boy.
take like 2 weeks.
Yeah, the worst part about turning 21 is going to be sitting in the DMV for a day.
Can you do that online now though?
Oh, I got mine.
I
online.
hope so. The DMV is like the worst place on earth.
Yeah.
You gotta use your picture when you're like 18, but I mean, you can get it online.
Can they get a retake?
Man, I didn't
I
have a
think you have
beard
to
when I
go
was
to get a
18.
retake.
I'm a baby face idiot on my old picture.
Actually, mine looks decent.
Yeah, I look, I'm pretty sure, completely different from my driver's license, but I mean,
My college ID's a yikes because I didn't
you
realize
just
she was
gotta
taking the
look.
picture. But the driver's license one looks decent.
Did you blink in one eye or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, you timmed it.
I kind of timmed it, except it was like I was in the middle of smiling instead of already smiling, so it's like
Oh.
awkward, you know?
And you didn't say, "Oh, that wasn't good. Can we retake that?"
No.
Well, you probably didn't know.
I also, I didn't know because
That's
they print
true.
out the card right there and then it's like, it's over. Like, all right.
Get out here, no retakes.
And that lady became my boss like 2 years ago, or 2 years later, so that was fun.
Oh, that's fun. You got to be like, "Hey, you did this.
You
are
did this to
stupid."
me.
You changed my life with taking my driver's license picture. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
But
My
for now,
ID
I'm a
picture's
college
bad.
baby idiot, so
Yeah,
for 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I still have
2 weeks.
like a year and a half, but that's fine. So
Nice.
that's fun. I got my second COVID shot yesterday.
Yeah.
Don't everybody applaud and call me a
It's not
hero
dead.
at once.
I'm gonna like literally cry and say this is so brave of you.
That's right, as you should.
Yep.
I would literally do nothing that scary ever in my life.
You tell me.
I'm too much of a coward to do that.
I went in my local grocery store and then they were like, "Hey, your address isn't right." And I was like, "Oh no." So I guess you could say it was a very traumatizing
I cried
experience.
and ran out of the grocery store.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But
One of those, oh no, I'm so sorry, starts crying and just bolts out.
well, I'll
It's the
be
driver's license.
I'll be real. I did well up a little bit, but I managed to power through and change my
jeez.
address and
Oh,
then get the shot.
I've been training for this.
I had to go sit down for a minute to let everything sink in.
Yeah, I did have to wait for my name to get called, which I was like, man, that's kind of lame, but whatever. This wouldn't happen in
They didn't call you by their vaccination card ID.
no. Were they supposed to?
I don't know.
Oh.
Both times, they took, actually, I think the second time they took the driver's license, but the first time they were just like, you're supposed to have one? Okay, cool, here you go.
Yeah, that's what happened to me both times, but I was in a super small like grocery store. So yeah, I just rolled up and was like, "Hey, I have an appointment." And they're like, "Okay, yep, go sit in a chair and wait for your name to get called." I'm like, "All right." They didn't even ask for an insurance card or anything. They're just like, "Okay, you
Yeah,
have an appointment."
They
You're
never
good.
asked for that.
Which I guess is good because I think it's free.
Yeah.
Oh,
people-
it's free, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. But yeah, that's what happened with
Maybe
me.
free, but you still need insurance.
No, I think even if you don't have insurance, it's free.
No,
But-
yeah, it is.
Yeah. So that's good. Good for everybody, I suppose. Except for those who aren't vaccinated like Babby, like a stupid, dumb idiot he
Yikes.
is.
Come on, man.
Yikes.
Yeah. Man,
I can't even set up a haircut appointment right now, so we'll get there.
I'm just gonna do a public shaming of you so that
It's all gonna happen at once too. I'm gonna schedule a haircut and the vaccination appointment in one day.
You should probably do that soon. Just
I
because
will.
it takes like a month, like
I
in
know.
between. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna get together this summer, you should probably get on that. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say about that.
Wow.
Yeah. So the pressure is on. But we don't need to keep talking about that because we have a lot of stuff to get through.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we won't start with the do news roundup. We'll just go on with our first topic. That was
Topic.
actually no. I'll do the boy of the week first, just because it's fresh and it's at the top of my
switching them.
list. I haven't had a boy of the week in a while, and I found a small video essayist whose name is Paradigm Unshifted. He is I believe, like an Indian guy, and he does short little video essays that cover like one specific topic in like a movie. So it'll be like just one scene, and he'll break down just one aspect of it. So one interesting thing he did, the one that kind of introduced me to him, is he did this one on Soul and the 180-degree line rule. I didn't even know that was a thing, but it was very interesting. And then the other one I watched was his analysis of the Breaking Bad I am the danger, I am the one who knocks monologue, and how he shifts from Walt to Heisenberg in that one scene, and he like goes into like Bryan Cranston's performance. It was really cool to see him break it down. So I would recommend his channel. It only has like 1,000 subscribers. It is kind of criminally under subbed. So
Much like us, hit the sub button.
yeah, sub to us first and then subscribe to Paradigm Unshifted. But he's got good stuff. Very smart man. And then, so now I'll go on to the first topic because this is probably the oldest news at this point. But the Oscars happened last weekend. Ooh, so much fun. I watched it.
Yeah, he did.
That
I
was
was
a
there.
lie. I
I
didn't
was
watch it.
literally there.
I did see something today, or not today, but after the Oscars happened, that this was one of the low, like had the, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It was one of the Oscars that had the lowest views ever. Usually they're pulling in like 20 million or like through like 200 million when it was like at its peak, and this one got like an 8. And so they're like, uh-oh. And now people are thinking that they're going to nominate like Fast and the Furious 9 for Best Picture to try to get more people in. Or they're going to be doing something drastic next year. And it's like, guys, nobody saw movies this year because everything was $20 to rent. So that was my problem. So I went back. I mean, the big stuff that won, Daniel Kaluuya won. He had that speech where he was talking about the Black Panthers, and then he thanked his parents for having sex at the end. That was pretty funny. He won for Best Supporting. I don't get it. I still don't get it because. But I think they just did that so they could have one of them win, because I think Anthony Hopkins was gonna win Best Lead Actor no matter what because he's Anthony Hopkins. Which I think he won last year too for The Two Popes, which I think he probably should have because that was really flipping good. But he's an old-timey guy. He was Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs, so he's been around. And then Nomadland won Best Picture, which I have to say is probably the worst movie I've seen.
Imagine saying that movie's bad and it won Best Picture. Wow.
It's the worst movie I've seen in 2020, and I saw Sonic the Hedgehog. Let that sink in.
Well, Sonic's a good movie, so.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Mainly because I love Ben Schwartz, and Ben Schwartz plays Sonic, and so it's like, oh, it's so nice. And the guy from Hop is the guy who's the human man in Sonic, so it's like, that's pretty funny that he's in 2 of these movies. Yeah, but Nomadland, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, that I really didn't like that at all. But apparently everybody else did. But again, I think it was probably just like political, because they were like, this is the first woman of color to win Best Picture. So it's Chloe Zhao who won for that. And I don't have anything against Chloe Zhao. I think she was really good directing that, because I think Frances McDormand won for Best Lead Actress, and she was great in it. So yeah, I don't have any problems with her winning or Chloe Zhao winning. So I just didn't like the movie, but I think it was adapted, so not her fault. But I did watch Mank in between last episode and this one. I was gonna watch more, but as I said, they were all $20 to rent, so I couldn't. Well, I could, but I wasn't going to spend that much money to rent a movie. And Mank was awesome. I really liked Mank. I didn't like it as much as Judas, but it was really cool. It was all in black and white. It told the the story of how they wrote Citizen Kane. And I always thought that it was Orson Welles, but as the title of the movie points out, it was actually Herman J. Mankiewicz. And it was interesting. He was like because back then they just had like a team of writers work on stuff, and they would just give the credit to the director basically. And this is like the first time like a screenwriter came out and was like fighting for writing credits. So I think he actually won the Oscar for that. It was the only Oscar that Citizen Kane won. But it was really interesting. It was shot like a 60s movie, or not 60s, a 40s movie. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, that was all the Oscar stuff. I don't have that much to say just because I've only seen Judas, Mank, and Nomadland. So sorry.
Citizen Kane isn't the number one movie anymore.
I know. I was gonna bring that up. That was gonna be an epic segue into Citizen Kane losing the highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes this week. And it wasn't because some pretentious film magazine came out and gave it a bad review and it was like, it actually isn't that good. It was a review from 1941. I looked up the review. They found it. I guess they were archiving old issues of the Chicago Tribune, and they found this review from 1941. So when Citizen Kane came out, and I have some quotes. The review called it a study of magnificent futility and said that its sacrifice of simplicity to eccentricity robs it of distinction and general entertainment value. I guess that's just how people talked in the 40s.
1940s.
But I think that just basically means that it sucks and I hated it. So now it's at a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
One movie can top that.
And it's Paddington 2.
Yes.
Paddington 2 is now the highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
How is it ice?
Because it's a masterpiece.
I've only seen the first Paddington, and it was a really long time ago on like my car's TV. So I have absolutely nothing to say. I read the reviews for Paddington 2, and everybody was like, it's just a nice feel-good movie. And then like, okay, that's good. Is it better?
It's been a meme for a while too.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, you know, like the iCarly meme?
What iCarly meme?
Where like there'd be iCarly stan accounts that would go to random Twitter pages and being like, you should add iCarly to this game.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the same with Paddington 2.
But these are like actual film review.
But not the original Paddington, just Paddington 2.
Well, now I need to see Paddington 2 if it's the best.
Yeah, now we need to watch Paddington 2.
Yeah. Commentary track for Paddington 2?
What? Self-plugged for commentary tracks? Watch them because nobody else has?
Yeah, they're great. There's 2 of them.
No, they're actually horrible movies.
Well, they're good tracks.
Just suffer through it with us because we'll make it entertaining for you.
Yeah. If you watch the second Kangaroo Jack movie, be on to look for the truck that says the N-word on it.
Yeah, that was probably the best part of the movie.
It was like, how did they sneak that in? It was in like one shot, and it was just Niggur. And I'm like, no, you can't. That it was 2003. It was a different time.
No, I'm just kidding. Get away with some crazy things.
I guess it was just like, whoa, wait, did you see what was on there? And it was like, yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, watch that, and then be on the lookout for that truck. It's pretty funny. Let's see. I don't know if I have any other movie stuff. I was just going to try to segue it. Oh, yeah. There was a new Luca trailer, the new Pixar movie. I didn't watch it because I don't usually like watching. I'll watch like initial trailers, and then after that, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I don't know. I just said I just thought I'd bring it up. Comes out June 18th, so it's right around the corner. So we'll be able to drink beer and watch Luca. It'll be so much fun. But that's all the movie stuff I have. Before I keep going, do you guys want to do one of your topics? Do you have any, baby? I know Paul does.
I was waiting for Paul to jump into his.
Okay.
I
You
mean,
know,
both mine are both kind of gaming related, so I don't probably want to do them both at once if you want to finish the movie thing, or if you've already have.
We are pretty much done with movies. Okay. There is just one thing I'll bring out then before we
Yeah, just
transition to
finish that.
gaming. Last week we talked about the Spider-Verse 2 directors, and I was saying that I was wary just because a lot of them were they didn't have experience directing or like they're new on the scene, except for the guy who was working on Avatar. He's a veteran. But
Hmm.
I looked up after we did the podcast. I looked up the Spider-Verse 1 directors. And that one all had animation department directors. So like no big name director attached to that. It was written by Christopher Miller. No, it was written by Phil Lord. Those two are usually together. But it was just Phil Lord on Spider Verse 1, and Christopher Miller was absent, which is weird because they're usually a duo. And now Spider Verse 2 is being written by both of them, which is a good sign. So I take back everything I said last week. In fact, like looking at the director of Spider Verse 1 and the directors of Spider Verse 2, Spider Verse 2 is already set up in a better
that's
place.
why I was questioning why you were worried. Because last week when you said everything, like all the directors, I'm like, this sounds like really good.
Well, I was worried about the art director being a director. Granted, I don't know a whole lot of what goes into directing animated movies. I know more about live action stuff, but
I mean, if he's an art director and being an animated art director as well, it's the same principles, right?
he was a production designer. The
Oh,
guy who doesn't have any. That was the one that I was like, okay, this is kind of out of left field. The Avatar guy I feel safe with, and Kent Powers, Soul was pretty good, but that's like the only thing he's done. So like I'm sure that it's gonna be fine. We're just gonna be like all the chips are gonna be in Phil Lord and Christopher Miller because as I brought up last week, they're probably the best comedy writers right now. Just period. So yeah, shouldn't have to worry about it. I wanted to throw that out there before we continue any further because I needed to correct myself, frankly. So
yeah.
why don't you go ahead with your topics then, Bolly?
All right, time to get into some, well, it's both pretty much gaming related news. So,
Okay.
well, not really news, but topic. Anyways, so we'll start off with one we mentioned the European Universalis 4. So I don't know how much of our audience are gonna know what the game is, but it's basically like a RTS, like medieval Europe country fight country thing, kind of like Risk, but it's a bit like a lot more detailed. Yada yada.
Yeah.
If you want to know what it is, look it up. But
Yeah, do that.
pretty much. So a little background. Well, it's published by Paradox Interactive, and they own pretty much all the companies that make all these games. So it's pretty much just like fully done by Paradox. And so they release usually like 2 DLC a year for each game. Last year was 1 because it was a bigger update. And so they have a bad track record of DLCs like being either like a bit too small for what their price is, but you get it anyways because I mean you're gonna play this game for another 300 hours. Why not? So and they also have a track record of having some bad DLCs too. I know, especially with like Stellaris, they're kind of like space version of EU4. The first couple DLC are all like rated kind of like mixed and stuff because like it doesn't add too much. And there's one that's just like rated But back to the actual thing of topic is their new DLC for European Universalis 4. It's called Leviathan. It's supposed to focus on like Southeast Asia, Australia, add some flavor to North American natives. It all sounds cool, you know?
Yeah.
And people were pretty hyped about it because like those are pretty boring areas to play usually. And I mean, historically, yeah, but. And so first thing that happens is the week before they have the YouTubers all they can release footage, and I don't know if you guys know who the Spiffing Brit is.
No.
YouTube. He basically just gets a lot of games and he just breaks them, finds bugs and all that. And so he got a version, and obviously he found a pretty big bug, I'd say, as in like you could like develop stuff like way too much as natives, so that some random tribe in Arizona would have like 5 times the development of Constantinople at the time
Oh.
in 1444. And you could do this like really quickly, and so he like does this stuff because like he's like the best like QA tester you can get, really,
Mm-hmm.
because how good he's at this stuff. But well, they didn't fix that issue, and there's a couple more issues related to that. And there's a ton of bugs. There's missing artwork, and I mean, I never experienced this whenever it happens, but a ton of people are complaining about crashing. I mean, like, it's probably more on their end, but there could be some.
Yeah.
And apparently, there are things that are just broken if you don't. There's like an event that's broken, causing one of the countries to be completely unplayable unless you get the DLC until they fix that.
Oh.
And so the DLC's a big mess. There's some things in the vanilla game that's a mess, but actually no, I think like half's in vanilla, the vanilla update, and then half is like DLC. But basically, yeah, the community is in uproar. Like people don't like it. Like, yeah,
Yeah, I saw it was overwhelmingly negative.
it's the worst rated thing on Steam as of current.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, and all that we've really gotten is their day one patch, which usually happens. And I mean, it fixed a good amount of stuff, but like you're expecting it. And like we've gotten to the point where it's expected for Paradox to have like a day one patch and then like a 1 week patch. And then it'll finally be like a stable state,
Mm-hmm.
which you're like, okay, cool, they fixed it. But this happened with like the past couple DLC with a couple of their games. So it's kind of like turning into a more short-term Bethesda, where you like release something that's unfinished, but you slowly patch it over time.
Yeah, that's sucky.
Yeah,
Mm.
and so what else was there? But yeah, basically, I ended up buying it just to try it out, and I probably wouldn't have refunded it because I mean, it's playable, and I honestly probably wouldn't do too much with the new world anyways, so I wouldn't notice much of it. But I just went ahead and refunded it, like, because I mean, it's $20 for what seems like should be maybe 10, and especially with how broken it is,
Yeah.
refunding was simple enough. I'll just buy it again once it's a bit better.
Sure.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, and actually, well, I guess a big thing that's missing out of this is the people who actually developed the DLC and update was actually a new studio that they made in Spain, I believe. It's called like Paradox Tinto or something.
Mm.
And so they were supposed to like make this be like their debut DLC, like, oh, this is gonna be like our first DLC that the studio's working on and all that. And we don't know if like the higher ups just made them rush it out and it's like kind of a cyberpunk kind of thing, or
It's
if
probably a 76 situation where they get like a new, smaller studio and then they have to like set it up to be this huge thing.
yeah, that's probably one of them. And then so far their only response has been, oh, sorry. And on Hearts of Iron 4, when I don't know if it was like a dev blog or something, but some devs said just somewhere random, like, hey guys, like, I don't know, I don't remember it at all. I just saw it on like the Reddit page and I completely forgot it. But they said something. The people were still kind of like, I mean, I don't know if you should be saying that. It sounds kind of off.
Mm-hmm. Weird.
Yeah.
Huh. That is a sticky situation.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
And then you got the other. This isn't technically like game as in the game sense. It's more of a AI dungeon game.
Okay.
I guess most of you know what that is.
I've
But
played it.
yeah, well, you and I played it a bit.
Yeah.
But they're in their own sticky situation
Oh no.
because this was about a week ago. You know how they're, well, you probably don't know because you haven't used it, but they have like an explore tab where you can like play other people's scenarios that they've like. There's like a light coding where you can kind of like insert like certain people that the AI will remember, like certain locations, and it's like pre-made adventures kind of
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
by other people. And so they got rid of that without telling anyone for a day, and everyone was mad about that already. And then when they finally replied, they said, "Oh, well, you guys know how AI Dungeon is this big meme about how it's all just like horny AI. Well, we're putting a stop to that." And then so they're doing a full sweep of the explore thing, which is like 80% just like slime girl ha 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 stuff, if you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean.
Yeah.
So that's gonna take a while for them. They're trying to write like a whole new algorithm for it, and they're going through players' private stories if they an algorithm says, yes, this story has the number 5 and word girl not long after. So basically, they're having an algorithm read most people's private stories and flagging any like possibly bad ones, and then personally reading these stories. So people are saying, "Why are you reading our stories? They're supposed to be private."
Mm-hmm.
And they've come out on the Discord saying, "We're doing this for justice. We're doing this for anti-pedophilia." And they have this kind of like they're like it's almost like they're trying to call like a crusade against these like just types of stories, and it's like, guys, just you like I don't know.
I get you. They got like a justice boner and they wanna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like there are like if you go on the AI Dungeon subreddit, there's like a ton of like on the Discord, like the devs are posting like, wow, look at all these like pedophiles like defending like people not having their private stories read, and it's like, do you know what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if
And
you're
they,
using their service, it's not private.
yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know.
Seems like they know that their community has a lot of trash in it, and they're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, but it also
Free
like,
speech is the next thing that comes up then, and then people are like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, like they've allowed this, like it's been like this since like the beginning of AI Dungeon,
That doesn't mean they
and
can't change it though.
well, the AI, like how it learns is by actually like stories. So like it's also like taught the AI a bit. So like they got to mess with that, and I don't know. It's just like it's pretty much just like everyone's mad because of like the justice boner thing, like you said. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
calling like this crusade against all these stories, and they're saying like this is like an actual quote, obviously not actual because I don't have it in front of me, but like one of the devs said like we're oh crap, I just had it. What was it? Oh yeah, they don't care like how many they lose. Like they're gonna do this, like no matter what the community says. And then they said like I don't know, like they think they're doing what the community wants, but in reality, like maybe 20% of the community is defending them.
Yeah. I mean, I think they probably are on the right side of things, but
Yeah, cause like
also the means are a little bit shady.
yeah, cause like they just dropped the Explore tab without anyone knowing, which is like a huge thing. They didn't respond for a couple days, and then it was kind of vague, and now they're saying we're doing crusade against pedophiles, and we're looking at all your private stories, and people are like, wait, that one story I did,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
It's like terrible communication, yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of a lose-lose all around in
Yeah.
my eyes. Doesn't seem like there's any straight up just good guys.
Yeah.
But
I'd say the biggest argument, which I'd honestly say I kind of agree with, like, leave people be. Like, if they want to, like, privately have a story that's kind of like something that you're kind of like, yeah, that's a little off, like, let them have that as long as they're not sharing it. Like, maybe scan the Explore tab for stuff like that, but they want to have that privately, like, maybe it'll stop them from trying to look for it elsewhere. I don't know.
The issue
yeah,
is you don't want to give people like that a platform at all, whether the people know about it or not.
Hmm.
And if you're a dev of that, you have to live with that you're allowing people to do that.
I mean, when you're making an AI that you can use to make literally any adventure that
Well, yeah,
you
the
use
internet's gonna
internet
ruin
for,
it,
you
but
can't do that. Like, it's a thing where, like, you can't stop it. You have to, like, try and minimize the damage,
yeah. I mean,
trying to stop it.
they really should have known that this was going to be a problem
yeah.
before they
Yeah.
made it. Like, and I see they're just like in this like crazy damage control mode,
Mm.
but like, yeah, it's just kind of damning all around in my eyes. Because I
Yeah.
don't want to like come out and be like, yeah, the community deserves this like privacy, but it's like there's like, yeah, there's like bad stuff on there.
Bad company.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know, nothing's really private
yeah.
Mm.
in anywhere.
Don't send dick pics on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Well,
go ahead and look on the subreddit to see if there's any more news about it, but other than that, I'm pretty much done.
okay. Well, that was very insightful. A lot of outrage this week coming from Paul's Corner. I'll try to keep the outrage a little bit lower. I guess we can transition into Who Cares news. There's a Flintstones sequel coming out.
Who
The
cares?
show.
Oh,
They're
shit.
making a sequel to the show,
Oh, okay.
and it's called Bedrock. It's going to be a Fox animated show. Whether or not it's going to be Family Guy Fox animated show, or if it's going to be Boomer Humor
God,
animated show.
Awful. It's like a Family Guy.
I know. I just saw it and I'm like, really? A Fox animated show of the Flintstones that's a direct sequel to the Flintstones show from the 60s.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I just thought, like, that's kind of weird. I just thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah.
And also kind of Who Cares news, but still kind of affects us as we are currently talking on it. But Discord is no longer being bought out by Microsoft. They are remaining independent. So there's no other
Heck
buyers.
I actually somewhat kind of care.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how much that would have affected. I think the deal was something crazy. Like, I'm going to botch this, but I think it was like $100 million or something.
Ooh.
It was a fair amount of cash that they were turning down to remain independent. And I don't know why they were thinking of being bought out or what was going on, but they've decided against it. So Discord is still independent. Whether or not we're going to see them get bought out in the next month or so, now that they are going to use leverage like that. But I don't know how business works. So
Yeah, we turned down Microsoft. You better give us a big offer.
you're going to have to give us $2 billion. We need that
At
George Lucas money. Let's see. Oh, this is also older news, but I thought I'd bring this up before we bring up more new stuff. I don't know if you guys saw this. This was actually a couple weeks ago, but I didn't see it until a couple days ago. But did you guys see the news about the Minecraft update?
No.
Okay. The Minecraft Caves and Cliffs update, which was originally going to be released this summer, has been split up. into 2 updates, which is
Oh,
going to
yeah.
encompass the whole year. So
Mm.
they're kind of vague on what is going to be in each one. I would figure it would be you get caves in one and then you get cliffs in the other. That
I
does
remember
not
hearing
seem to be the case. Um, from what I can tell from reading the forum post, I didn't do a whole lot of extra research on this, so this is shaky. This is a couple weeks old at this point, though. Um, Basically, updates. It was rushed. They didn't have enough time. They wanted to make it the best ever. You guys get it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Game development and stuff. But the one that's coming out this summer sounds like it's going to be mobs and items, and then the winter one is going to be all the world generation stuff. So that'll be the caves. You
Dang, all
got the
the stuff
new
we care
mountain
about.
generation. I believe they're doing that just because that would impact all of the world generation. They just want to keep that all in one update and then get the more like minor, not like minor stuff, but just the other accessories just to kind of come out before then and at least have something to put in the summer update.
Yeah, I actually remember. I think I actually watched your announcement video for that. Now that I think about it, but they basically said like what they're doing, and they're also gonna have to make it so that you can play past the save games on this update, which is gonna be
Yeah.
complicated because first like huge like terrain and cave overhaul.
Hmm.
So they have to like make that work, and that's why it's taking so long.
Yeah. Which I get that. And I think
Yeah,
whenever this one drops, this winter, I think this one's probably going to be a definitive update just
oh
in
yeah,
terms of world generation stuff. And the stuff that's been in the snapshots, I haven't been, keeping up on them too regularly, but it looks pretty cool. The cave biomes look really nice. I don't think I've seen any of the new mountains and stuff like that, but at least the cave stuffs look pretty cool. But we'll get the axolotl this summer, I suppose. So I
what
guess
else?
that'll stave us over. But that's all old news. Now let's get on to that sweet, sweet new stuff. Am I right, gamers?
News.
Uh, so I guess I should have prefaced this that we're recording this on Thursday, the 29th of April. But
We are.
we are. Because today was the state of play for PlayStation. And it wasn't a crazy one. We didn't get any freaking Elden Ring and God of War like some people thought. I still don't know why people are thinking that Elden Ring is going to be announced in the end of April, but some people did. When the new Ratchet and Clank is coming out in like a month, and that was what the state of play was. But Ratchet and Clank looks flipping awesome. I have to like it's probably they had this scene in it where they were in like a metropolitan city where it's like it reminded me of Cyberpunk, and people were like, "Wow, this game looks better than Cyberpunk," and it's Ratchet and Clank, and I'm like, "Yeah, that is true." Uh, I think graphically, like, well, already it's made by Insomniac, so you know it's gonna be a slam dunk. But it was absolutely beautiful. The models and the animation, they had like it was a whole 15 minutes of gameplay. It was awesome. There was some crazy stuff that they're able to do now that the PS5 has an SSD where they can like you can like teleport, and like instead of having to wait in a load screen to go between worlds, which has always been a thing in Ratchet and Clank, I'm pretty sure. I guess for the record, I've only played the PS4 game, which is admittedly a disaster. Not because of the gameplay or anything, but Insomniac had to make a Ratchet and Clank game to coincide with the movie coming out in 2017. So they wanted to remake the first Ratchet and Clank game. A pretty good idea. Unfortunately, some executive up top was like, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if you used the cutscenes from the movie as the cutscenes for the game?" And the Insomniac people were like, "Yeah, we can just like kind of shoddily put the plot of the movie into the first Ratchet and Clank game." So it isn't the best. But the gameplay of it is pretty fun. It just the story of it's just kind of bad because it's the Frankenstein's monster of Ratchet and Clank 1 and the Ratchet and Clank movie. But this new one looks good. I think it's $70 just because it's
Yikes!
yeah. But I think all games are gonna be doing that now.
Unfortunately,
Oh no,
Yeah.
why?
Like,
Thank
I
God I
don't
don't
know.
use
But I'm,
PlayStation.
wow, you guys got this fancy hardware that I've had for 5 years.
yeah. Well, I think it's probably just gonna be for everything soon. Like my
Yeah.
guess is most new releases on every platform are going to be 70 because I think Xbox games Halo Infinite is probably going to be 70 if I was to guess, considering it's one of the most expensive games of all time. I saw that it so far has cost them $500 million, which is insane,
How
especially
it
for a
costs
game. I
Especially
don't
for a game
know.
we're gonna play for 2 weeks and then forget existed.
Right. Well, I'm sure some people are going to play it for a long time because it's Halo. But
Yeah.
which speaking of, I was not to cut off the state of the play. I'll go back to it. But there was some Halo Infinite stuff that dropped today. I don't really care, but there was stuff specifically about the PC port, so I thought that was a little bit interesting. So if because Xbox is owned by Microsoft, they're going hard in PC now, which they should have been doing from the get go. But I guess better late than never.
Yeah.
So they're doing you can do cross play, which I don't really care about. They're doing cross promotion. So if you have it on Xbox and PC, which I don't know why you'd buy the game twice, uh, you can have the same stuff on both. There's ultra wide support. They said that it's just going to run good on PC, which hopefully is true because console ports to PC are hardly ever smooth on their first on
Yeah.
launch. But I'm like, hey, you know what? That's fine. Good for you guys doing that. But I just thought I'd bring it up. But the other stuff that was in the state of play was Among Us is now coming to PlayStation. Yes, I'm so excited.
Off the PS4 right now. Sort of,
It isn't out yet. It's coming out this summer.
but I'm getting it ready.
Okay, yeah,
Does
get it
does
ready.
that mean we're gonna start having kids with mics on PS4 Among Us?
Maybe. I don't think there's
Oh,
voice chat.
Yeah, there's
oh.
not.
It's just text chat. And I think
Is
Among
it
Us so far is just on Xbox, Switch, and PC and mobile. But now it's finally coming to PlayStation as it's dying. So that's fun.
Yep.
And then they talked about Subnautica Below Zero, which is I think it's early access on Steam, but it's officially getting released, I
Keep
believe.
forgetting
This
that's
summer.
not a DLC. That's like a whole new game of theirs.
Oh, yeah, no. I think it's like a spin-off, maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's the same. I haven't played it. I've only played the first one. But it's like a different protagonist. It's, a different thing. But same thing, you're just in a cold realm. But that is
Very
officially coming out this summer. So that's pretty cool. And then alongside that, Subnautica is getting a next-gen update for free this summer,
Ooh,
which is
cool.
nice. I like seeing new or old games getting those slight remasters, even if it's just increasing their frame cap to 60. That's always nice to see. So I think that was all I had to bring up for gaming, maybe. Oh, just a couple short things. I think Druckmann came out and said that Last of Us 3 story beats are already thought of, but Naughty Dog isn't working on it right now. Thank God. Do not make another Last of Us right now, you stupid idiot.
Give it 5 years.
I don't know why he even brought it up. I'm like, I don't want that. Make something new, Naughty Dog. Stop making Uncharted and Last of Us. I want to see a new Naughty Dog
I'll
IP.
take The Last of Us, but give me 5 years.
I know. I do want one. Well, actually, I don't even know if I want a Last of Us 3, if I'm being honest. Because Last of Us 2 kind of had a decent ending. I like that. I could see that being the end of the series. But I guess Neil Druckmann just is like, hey, The Last of Us 3 is coming. Just give us 2 decades. It's like,
They didn't give it closure, so they okay, we could open this up if we want to.
yeah, listen, like, what is there even? It's just like she's gonna find Dina and the baby, and it's just gonna be spoilers, I guess, for The Last of Us 2. I guess I should have said that before I said.
I don't know. After the first game, it could have ended without anything, and then The Last of Us 2 existed. So
Well,
it's possible, but I'm gonna need like 5 to 10 years to
I
make sure.
I don't think the first one was set up for a sequel where it was like Joel lied to Ellie. What the flip? Like it was kind of like that cliffhanger. I guess this one's kind of a cliffhanger
That's
too.
what I'm saying. It's like they end these all the same, where it's like this can be interpreted as an ending or not.
I don't want this right now. I could see myself really wanting it later, but not
Exactly.
right now.
Don't do it right
I do not want to even hear about a new Last of Us game. When I heard that, I was like, Neil, you are a stupid idiot. Stop making The Last of Us 3. Make a new game for Pete's sake.
Not for reasons everybody else calls you a stupid idiot.
Yeah, no, it's not because I didn't like the game. You need to
Your
give
face
it some
can't
time to
stop.
breathe, okay?
You have a
People,
TV show to oversee.
yeah, well, I don't know how much he's doing on that.
You
But
should send him an angry email. That would get him.
I'll
I'm
send
sure
him
he's
an
doing
email.
crazy
He'll listen to me.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. We don't even know. Oh, wait. I did hear that they were making another Uncharted. And if that is true, that is very, very, very disappointing.
They ended Uncharted.
Yeah, I did too. Oh, okay. It's just rumored. Okay.
Oh.
That
I'm
would.
gonna say it's probably not true until it's true.
Well, I mean, we were just talking about it. Like, I don't know what was going on, but there was something that came out a couple days ago that we're like, are they making an Uncharted 5? Which, if you've played Uncharted 4, no spoilers for Uncharted 4, but it ends pretty definitively. That's all I'll say about it. It's a very fitting, like, it's a good ending. So I don't want them to make an Uncharted 5. That's why I was like excited because Uncharted was over. Last of Us, maybe, but they take a really long
It's
time.
over for a little bit. Yeah, they take a while.
So I'm like, that would be so cool. They have like an opportunity now. They'll make Jack and Daxter 3. That's what I want.
And they will.
I don't think Naughty Dog's making Jack and Daxter.
I just
think
don't like when news comes out with like stuff this early in development because 90% of stuff gets shut down.
right. I don't
So-
think they're gonna shut down The Last of Us 3. Sony loves
They might
The
put it
Last
on
of
the back
Us.
burner if they were smart.
Yeah. I don't think Druckmann is gonna make a 3
Druckmann
right
doesn't
now.
strike me as a guy to capitalize on that either. So.
No. If he has a story to tell, which I guess he does, because he just said that he has the story laid out. It isn't written, no dialogue. He just knows how it's going to be.
And I trust his, his guidance.
If he wants to make a trilogy, that's cool.
Yeah.
Don't push it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this get dragged out because the second one was controversial. Imagine if the third one was bad. Like straight up, like that would be.
Don't mind imagine it.
Yeah, you don't really. That would suck.
I don't see him making a bad game. I could see him making a meh game.
I haven't seen him make a bad game because he directed Uncharted 4, and Uncharted 4 is the best Uncharted game. I'll say it.
Yes, I have faith in him.
Yeah.
But I'm good for like another 5 years.
Yeah, we need to let The Last of Us 2 breathe. I think.
Give the TV show, give some new viewers the story. Let it chill.
Remake the first one. Do you think Naughty Dog's not making that?
Second time. No, they're not doing that, so I'm not playing that, even if it does exist, and I really hope it doesn't.
Was that rumored? Was that not confirmed?
It's not confirmed.
If that's a thing, I think the only people I would trust for that is Blue Point. Unless there's like a division of Naughty Dog that they're like, we're going to be remastering old games, and that's our sole purpose. That would be cool because I would love to see. Well, they already did the Nathan Drake collection. Never mind, they wouldn't need a new division unless they were just remaking Jack and Daxter. No, they did the old Crash Bandicoot, but I think Games by Bob remade those in the Insane trilogy.
Yeah, I think they did.
Which they could remake Jack and Daxter. They did Crash and Spyro. They did both of those. If they like the quirky 3D platformers,
go ahead.
Yeah, do that. Because I didn't play the original Crash Bandicoot, but I played the Insane trilogy and it was pretty fun.
I just tell you it's better. The remaster is better. So
It's better.
yeah, same with
Ooh.
Spyro.
Okay, I haven't played the Spyro one.
Spyro is like I was just old enough to realize that video games are easy or hard. Because before you just pick up a controller and run around and not care.
Mm-hmm.
But Spyro was a little yikes,
Really?
at least as a child. But when I played the remaster, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty smooth.
Oh. So maybe it's not as difficult as you thought.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'd have to
Okay.
pick up the original PS1 or PS2 version of a Spyro game.
Oh, true. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm also trash at 3D platformers, so you could also
Oh.
factor that in.
Well, I like playing hard games like Dark Souls and
Me beating the Crash Bandicoot games remastered was a crowning achievement.
yeah, that was rough.
Those games are tough.
Yeah, I 100% at the first one, and then I was getting ready to do the second one. I'm like, man, I just 100% in the first game.
I think I 100%ed half of the first one and I gave up because it's like, what's the point?
So
This
you
is too
50%ed it.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
100% in games is dumb. So
Wow. You know
'Cause-
that's all I do.
90% of games do not have a good after story.
No.
You know,
That is true.
So.
I just have this stupid gamer brain that's like, hey, there's this freaking Mongol artifact that you haven't picked up yet, and you can't say that you've truly beat and experienced the game unless you've experienced everything. By the way, I 100%ed Ghost of Tsushima today. I actually thought I 100%ed it before when I played it. And then I was like, I'm not going to 100% it again. That would be stupid. And then I 100%ed it again because I am stupid and a dumb idiot. But apparently I didn't 100% it before because I got this cool, when you get all of the achievements, I think. I'm not sure. But when I got the last achievement, I got this like shiny ghost armor. And I'm like, whoa, that's fun. See, this is the thing that I hate, or I'm torn. Because Arkham Knight has the same thing. When you like fully 100% the game, you get like a gold bat suit. And I was like, that's awesome. Where am I going to use this? Because I already beat the game. Give me something cool that I can, have while I'm 100%ing it. Because I'm not going to be using this gold bat suit because I already beat the game twice. Because you have to beat the game twice to get it.
Am I just thinking this, or didn't games used to like after you beat a game, like maybe they give you like a semi game breaking like weapon or something?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know
games
like
had
old story
some-
games you could beat, and then they'll unlock a cheats menu, and you can like mess around with like a whole bunch of random stuff.
GTA
Yeah,
does
like-
that.
Yeah, GTA does that.
Oh yeah, GTA for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think that's kind of a cool idea that's just not used enough. Like you already beat the game, you don't really care too much about the story. You just give us like an OP endgame gun at the start or something.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's New Game Plus where you
Well-
keep your character and stuff with some games, but yeah,
Yeah.
something like fun and just to mess around with would be nice.
Yeah, I guess it kind of ruins it if the game has achievements, because I mean, then you get a really good gun that you can do this stuff easier with. But
Well, I think what's weird is that like we've seen cheat codes kind of fall off, and I think it's just because the internet and it isn't as quirky.
And I think a
or
lot
you
more
can
stuff-
buy it. You know, a lot of the stuff that could be like cheats, where it could be like, oh, look at this cool gun that you can get with only a cheat code. Now you buy it for $1.50.
Yeah,
Which
you used to have to work for that crap.
Yeah. You had to
That's
go
pretty
to
hard.
IGN.com.
Go to different websites and try to find ones that people gave that are actually real and not fake ones that they made up.
Man, I
last
remember.
time I was on IGN was years ago. Well, for looking like for cheat codes or something
Yeah.
like that.
That was always the best, though. I loved doing that. I used to do
Yeah.
that for old GameCube games. Be like, yo, I can have big head mode.
Yes, dude.
Why did every single game have
I don't
big
know, every
head
game
mode?
had big head mode.
And
Just
it's
an
still
easy slider
funny.
for the devs to turn.
Like, yeah, I don't think it's that hard,
No,
but
it's
it always made me laugh,
Yeah.
especially in NBA Jam when it really didn't matter at all.
It didn't matter because somebody's head was already big.
Yeah, They just made it bigger, and it like didn't impact gameplay at all. Because at least in GoldenEye, it just made headshots easier.
Yeah.
But it was just like NBA Jam is just a 2D sprites of LeBron James. That was not LeBron. It would have been Michael
LeBron
Jordan.
James, 18 at that point.
I know. I corrected myself, so I didn't make a mistake. That's how that works.
Nice.
Okay, that we went a little off topic, but there was also DC Fandom announced that they're coming back in October, which is slightly movie news. Well, for what I care about. A lot of people were like, dude, new seasons of the CW shows are gonna get announced. So I'm like,
Wow.
I don't care about that at all.
I wish I cared now.
So it's coming back in October. That means we're probably going to get some news on the Batman, which I'm super excited for. I think that one's going to be awesome. And the two DC games that are in development, the Suicide Squad game by Rocksteady, who did the Arkham games, and then I think it's Gotham Knights, which is made by the people who made Arkham Origins, which is probably the worst Arkham game, but I don't really hate it. But it's definitely a weaker studio on that one, and they're making a co-op game where you play as the Batman family, and I don't know.
Batman had a family?
Well, it's just all the different Robins. 'Cause there's like 3 Robins and 1 Batgirl. So you got Nightwing, Red Hood, Robin, and Batgirl. So that one, it might be fun, but also I don't know if I would make you guys get that one. I don't know how it would work. Hopefully you can play it by yourself, because that would probably be the way I would play it.
Hopefully you get AI teammates. Those are always fun.
I'll have to see. Maybe in October, if there's going to be gameplay of it, because that game was originally supposed to come out this year, and then they pushed it back to next year. So we'll see. My guess is the Suicide Squad game is going to be better, but again, it is a 4-player co-op game. So it's like, please give me a single-player game. I don't want to. None of my friends are going to play the Suicide Squad game with me. So just give me a fun, stupid DC game. Wait, what was that, Paul?
Fine, if you ask nicely.
You would pay $70 to play the Suicide Squad?
Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're too expensive. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. The Suicide Squad game's not going to come out for a while. But my guess is that they were going to try to line it up with the James Gunn game, or the movie, and then they kind of did a oopsie-doopsie, and it's now coming out in 2023, I think. So, oops. But that one looks fun. Yeah. But you can be the funny shark guy from the Suicide Squad movie, which is fun. I hope you can be the polka dot man.
Yeah.
So that's coming out in October. Or it isn't coming out, but they're doing another press thing. Which I'm like 100% sure there's going to be the Batman news, because that movie's coming out next year. So that would be fun. Is that all I had for gaming? Oh, there was May the 4th stuff. I think next week is probably going to be maybe a little Star Wars heavy, just because May the 4th is on Tuesday.
Maybe.
And the new Star Wars show is starting, and I'm excited for it. I know I shouldn't be, but I am. I'm probably going to regret it, but whatever.
It's okay. You gotta regret one thing being excited for a year.
That's right.
Last year Cyberpunk, this year Star Wars.
That's right. Well, I'm always disappointed in Star Wars. Well, that's not true. The Mandalorian's pretty good.
Keeps getting excited.
I don't keep getting excited. I'm like, oh, the Mandalorian's coming out. That's fun. This one is just a Clone Wars spinoff, and I'm like, ooh, is Dave Filoni on it? Yeah, he is. Oh, that's gonna be fun. It's probably gonna be passable. So I'll probably like it just because I'm a stupid Star Wars nerd, but
Nerd.
yeah. So we'll see. Next week. Oh, but there was some May the 4th news that Jedi Fallen Order game is getting a next gen update, which maybe means that there's going to be a squeakquel. We know there's going to be a squeakquel, but this might mean that there's squeakquel news coming. Don't get your hopes up. I'm just, thinking out loud here. That game was not what I expected at all. I was expecting a fun lightsaber game, and what I got was Star Wars Sekiro. It was really, it was just like a worse Sekiro, but
Mm-hmm.
not totally bad. It's worth it if you like fun, like, Star Wars stuff. It's pretty buggy though. So hopefully the next gen update fixes some of that. We'll see. That's coming out this summer. But that is all I had for gaming. Just one more short thing, and then we do have some music stuff to go over.
Always have music stuff. That's cool.
Always. Or should we do music? Or I have a couple TV shows, and I thought we could go over what's going on in BoJack.
I don't care. You're the host.
Okay. Well, the one short thing is that Vsauce came back. Well, he didn't come back, but this dude always takes like 3 or 4 months to make a video, and he made one that was, honestly, it might be one of my favorites. It's really good. He always does like a great job on Vsauce, where he just like completely like covers a topic where it's like, okay, I think I am actually kind of competent in like this topic. It's like half
are
an hour
your-
long. Huh?
Or your fingers.
Yeah, it's a thinking man's channel. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny because his personality is so like goofy, but then like he has like these really insightful videos. But this one was all about reasoning, and he was talking about how like human reasoning is like inherently flawed, and like a lot of it was political, which is weird for him. Not taking a stance either way, just talking about how like our oligarchy isn't working, and he was like, he's like, I think we should be in a lotocracy, which I had never even heard of before. But basically, apparently it was like this thing they did in ancient Athens, which is where democracy came from, or ancient Greece, more broadly. But
Yeah, it'd be Athens, but yeah.
yeah, but they did this thing where instead of like electing people, they would basically draw names out of a hat, and they would be like, "You're the leader," and they said like, basically, if we're electing, then we are kind of like giving the power to the people who have the most influence, and it's like that can be a little shady. If we just give it to a random person, that's actually going to be what the everyday person would be. Granted, you could like pull Jeff Bezos's name out of the hat, but you're more likely to get just an everyday schmo to just walk in and be the leader for like a day, or
In America, it's extremely dangerous, but we're also extremely dangerous as it is. So.
Yeah,
I don't know.
where we're at right now was like a little bit sketchy.
It's absolute garbage. So
That works a lot better. Like, that would work a lot better in society, like ancient Athens, compared to like just two-sided only, pretty much like political spectrum.
I think this is definitely a long-term thing
Mhm.
to work towards. I would recommend watching the video, at least that part. It's at the very end, but
I might.
it's very good. I obviously recommend Vsauce. If you haven't seen his show Mindfield, it was a YouTube Red original, but now it's available for everybody. I would highly recommend it. He like actually has studies that are in that show that like is like actually affect science. It's like really cool. Yeah. So I'd recommend Vsauce today. I actually, in my notes, I just said new Vsauce, watch it, cowards. So heed my words. But I guess let's close out the podcast with music, because we might have something. I don't know. I don't think we know what it is yet, but I thought that I would quickly wrap up my thoughts on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because that show is officially over now. And then we can talk about BoJack, because we are about done with season 4. We have 3 episodes left. But before we get to that, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, not bad. I would say that WandaVision is probably hits higher. It's like its peaks are higher than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier is probably more consistent. There was a lot of race like stuff in it, which I think was kind of the direct counter to the racist people being like, black person Captain America, that can't happen. And there was a lot of like representations of that actual like mindset in the show, of like people in the show being like, a black Captain America, I can't dream of that. I only know of a white guy who's blonde and has blue eyes as being a Captain America. And then the Falcon, it has like wings and he shoots them with his shield. It's so awesome. I would say,
Blonde and blue. Say.
yeah. So none of us here, unfortunately, we can't be Captain America.
I am a fourth. I have one blue eye.
Well,
So close.
well, I guess the moral of the show is that anybody can be Captain America. So I think we're okay.
Redheads.
But redheads, we all hate the Irish. But
I hear
the show, I think the only like major takeaway I'll take away from the show is that the Falcon's Captain America suit looks really stupid. Not like the body part, specifically the headpiece. The ear holes are too small, and his ears get bunched up. And I'm like, this, you can like make measurements of the guy's head, like his ear, or CG, and then his goggles look stupid, and because in the Falcon like costume, he just has the goggles, but they give him like a cowl, so it's like it's all around the neck, up the sides, and then they like convene on like the brow. So he kind of has like a Batman thing going on, just no like top part. And yeah, it's pretty stupid looking. The rest of the suit looks fine. It's just the headpiece is like, okay, hopefully this gets fixed for whenever he's going to be in a Marvel movie. But yeah, it was pretty good. I am now an Anthony Mackie stan. I think he's pretty good. He was great in
Nice.
Black Mirror when he kissed his boyfriend, and now he's great as Captain America.
That's about right.
Yeah. Although they did at the end of the show, they were like at the end of every show they would do the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it would like fade in and fade out. And then the last episode it said Captain America and the Winter Soldier because he's no longer the Falcon, he's Captain America. The problem is that there's already a movie called Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So oops. So I don't know if they thought about that one all the way through. But
Someone had a freak out once they said they were going to do that, and they forgot that there's a Captain America movie named with it. Like, people got fired.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it made it to the final, and I recognized it, and I'm not like a Marvel stan. Like, that's the second Captain America movie. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But I would recommend it. It definitely has some valleys to it, but it's pretty good. I recommended it. I actually look forward to watching it every week. And now I'm just going to have to wait until Loki? Is that the next one?
I don't know.
I don't really care about
I'm just
Loki.
making the Don Cheadle show, so I don't care.
For what?
Don Cheadle?
Oh, Don Cheadle. He was in this show. That's another thing I'll take away from it. He was only in the first episode for like a minute. Not even. He had like 3 lines. And then they got rid of the best character in the whole franchise, Don Cheadle. I don't even do you know his character's name?
It's freaking Iron Man guy.
Well, I meant War Machine is his superhero name, but I cannot name Don Cheadle's character's name.
But I'm interested in Don Cheadle, so.
I would love if they gave Don Cheadle his own show. That would be like the best
Are
day.
they doing that?
Are they?
I'm pretty sure they did that. Their whole here's 27 different Marvel shows we're making and releasing. Pretty sure War Machine was one of them.
Armor Wars.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah, but
But it is
that yep, it's him. Oh, frick! I didn't know that was gonna be a Don Cheadle show.
Yeah.
Frick! Oh, when's that? When is War Machine a bad guy? No.
Yes.
Well,
He's the worst.
He's got
guys.
Warren's name. He's got to be bad.
that's true. Armor Wars, it's an Iron Man arc. Yeah, I don't care. I want to see the show.
Care about Iron Man. I want Don Cheadle.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that? Like, people are petitioning to get Robert Downey Jr. back.
Oh, I don't care.
Don't do that, you stupid idiot. Why do you want that?
They just want it. That's all.
His arc is done. Silly guy.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Silly.
Remember? Wait, here we go. I found
I never
Marvel.
watched it, so I wouldn't remember.
Oh,
He's dead though.
he is dead. That is how
Dang.
Endgame ends. That movie is like 2 years old. I think we're okay. And everybody knows the freaking I am Iron Man scene.
I think everybody knows that, so we're good.
There was like an embargo before we could post spoilers. Remember? It was like a month. And then it was like, okay, now we can start posting spoilers for Endgame. I think we're okay. It's been a while. I went on the Marvel website, and it says the overview for Armor Wars, Network, Disney Plus, Cash, Don Cheadle. That's it. They don't have a release date or anything. So we'll see Don Cheadle show coming out soon, probably. So that'll be fun. Speaking of Don Cheadle, how are you liking BoJack?
Fantastic segue. It's pretty good.
I'd say. I'm really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta say, not so much liking the political arc. It's not my favorite. But, you know, it's fine. It seems to be coming to a head. So they had to give something to Mr. Peanut Butter to do, you know.
I just see his life as a roaming, like, just wherever it takes him. So
That's true.
the arc fits. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a show that like makes me laugh out loud and also like audibly gasp and be like really sad. Like that episode where I think it's called Piece of Shit is like that one was really depressing. I hated that. And then the next one was just like, we gotta find Hollyhock's mom. I'm like, okay. But yeah, I think spoilers for the show. There is an arc in the show where BoJack goes to like his buddy's ex-girlfriend's house, and they may have had a thing, may have not, and then he like almost sleeps with like her 17-year-old daughter, and that part was like, oh, I hated that. That was like, man, my teeth were gritted and my fists were clenched, and I was like, oh no, it was very bad.
Let's do such a thing.
But I guess it fit the story. I was just they were eliciting the reaction that they wanted, because I think that I was feeling exactly how they wanted me to feel.
You fell right into their palm.
Well, I mean, that's just the mark of a good television show, is if they're able to elicit emotional responses, which this one does, even though it has stupid animal puns in it, like all the time.
Yeah, I like them more now.
I do like them more now, but I'm just saying, like, they contrast like these just like stupid humor, which is funny, with like serious moments where it's like, holy crap, that guy almost just like sexually assaulted a 17-year-old. That would have been very uncomfortable to watch. But he didn't. Spoiler alert, I guess, which we already prefaced it. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm excited to finish her up. I don't think we'll probably have 2 weeks left on it. Got each season has 12 episodes, so we'll be about done. We'll be in the last season when we do the next podcast. But so in 2 podcasts we'll do another series review, full, like we did with Mr. Robot. So that'll be good. And then after that, we got Fargo, which will be interesting how we're gonna do that. because each season's different. We might have to do a review for each season. So that'd be different.
What is Fargo? I swear I've heard of it before.
Fargo is a city in South Dakota, North Dakota.
South Dakota.
I mean the show.
It's in North Dakota.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's
no,
on the
I'm-
border.
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
like-
I know. It was originally a Coen Brothers movie from the 90s. It's regarded as one of their best. If like remember when we were doing Fiasco, where it's like just like crazy stuff just comes out of nowhere, and it's just like just chaos. The movie. That's what Fargo is. Fargo, the show, is like that, and it came out like 20 years later, and I don't even think the Coen brothers are like directly involved. I think they may have produced some of it, but for the most part they don't mess with it, which is fine because the first season is flipping awesome. I've heard it only gets better, and every time like a new season comes out, it's always nominated for stuff in the Emmys, which is not like the best indicator, but it does represent that, at least someone watches TV, So we'll be doing that later. We will have to watch the movie first, which is good because it is good. I'm excited to watch it again. But first we got to get through stupid BoJack.
Yeah.
Oh, and do we want to watch that Lakeith Stanfield anime?
I might just watch that.
Okay.
As I do.
Okay.
Something Grant was
'Cause by the
recommending.
time we get to it, it's gonna be October.
Well, we could just do it after BoJack.
We could.
That's what I was thinking because it's going to be short. Otherwise, I'm not going to watch it, and I would like to watch it. We'll see.
Is
I
this
mean, I would
something
watch
Okay.
you guys watch?
Huh?
Is this something Grant told you guys about?
No.
Oh,
We just like Lakeith Stanfield, and it's an anime about a black samurai, and looks fun.
I don't watch what Grant recommends usually.
Yeah, that is true. I don't either.
I might tune in for that because I think I finally. I'm pretty sure that's like historically. Is that the like historically accurate? Like there was a black samurai.
I have no idea. I know
Okay.
nothing about it.
I have
there is.
no knowledge about the show except the people involved.
Let me to give you the name, and you can look it up. It's called Yasuke.
I mean, I can probably just look up the anime and see if it says
That
based
is-
off real.
That is the anime's name.
Oh, what was it?
Yasuke. Okay. So that is that. We're about done, but we do have some music stuff to go over. And the more definitive side of things, Billie Eilish's album was announced to be coming out July 30th, and the single dropped today. And I did listen to it. That's all I'll say.
Yikes.
I liked.
Yeah. You just can't hear. It's fine.
Yeah. I was trying to, like, when it started out and it was this acoustic, and I'm like, holy crap, is she going to make, like, a folklore? Which, well, I guess, what's that other song that
There's
Therefore
three
I
songs
Am?
We've heard and it's not. So
Okay, well, no longer interested, but
she's making fun of it, which is cool.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. She's
Oh.
like, I'm gonna dye my hair blonde and be like,
Oh,
happier than ever, and then I'm gonna make a sad girl album again.
that sounds fun. I'm all for the freaking songwriting. The guitar was great. I hate her voice. It falls in the uncanny valley for me where it's not that I can't hear her. She sounds like she's talking through like a drive-through window, and I'm like that. I hate it. I can't
No,
listen
that's
to it.
gotta be it's nope.
I can't listen to her. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I thought you said it wasn't because of that. I'm like, yes, it is.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so stupid. I can't. I hate that I'm like not able to like that song because the build up for it was awesome, and then she's like, and I'm like, no, I can't hear you, stupid. I'm just frustrated with myself more than anything.
No, because this is one of her best vocal performances ever.
Yeah, well,
Like top 3, probably.
I think Ocean Eyes is pretty good.
Yeah.
I can hear her in that one. I think just whatever she's doing now, when for some reason her older stuff, I don't know if it's just because her voice is developing or
Maybe.
is developed now, but when she was younger, I could hear her fine. There was some stuff where it's like, you're starting to dig into that, but whatever she's doing now, it's just I cannot listen to it. There's like this thing called I think it's like music aphasia, where like there are some people who whenever they listen to music, it's just the sound of pots and pans, and they just hate all music, period. And that's Billie Eilish for me.
Unlucky.
Yeah. But
Well, if you want to enjoy this song, just listen to the Bon Iver song Stacks.
Stack, is it the same song?
It's the first time I listened to the Billie Eilish song, I'm like, this is an exact like remake. I got Mandela'd, but it's still true.
Okay.
And I know Phineas took inspiration from it, but they messed with it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
They changed the chord progressions and stuff. It's like they almost reversed it.
Huh.
But it's very similar.
Yeah, I need to listen to Forema.
Yeah, that one's a classic.
That's on the list.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. The other 2 singles she did earlier were cool. This one is like the best one out of the 3, but I don't know how those 2 are gonna fit into a narrative because they seemed like just loose tracks. This one seems like it's focused.
Does she usually do narrative stuff?
I mean, it's rumored that this one is a narrative one.
Oh, okay.
Even if you just want to go for a sonic like cohesion, this one is completely different than the other 2 singles. But maybe she's doing a A-side, B-side kind of thing. Who knows?
Maybe. Didn't she post like the like not track list but track listing, and then all the other ones were grayed out, and then the singles that were released were placed in where they were?
Yeah, Apple Music shows.
Okay.
Spotify doesn't do that.
Okay.
I mean, since it's technically iTunes, they show the album, and then some people list their tracks, some people won't.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Well, I don't have much to say. But the other thing that happened yesterday, we don't know that it's Kendrick, right?
I'm gonna be for real with you. It's not.
Okay.
Just don't get your hopes up. There's a slight possibility, but do not get your hopes up.
Yeah, I saw some people saying it was SZA. I saw some people, it's like Isaiah something, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be Isaiah Rashad, SZA, or could be Absol, but I don't think they'd hype up an Absol project like this.
Yeah, it was because they said the wait is finally over that like people are like, okay, well, it has to be someone who hasn't dropped in a while.
It shows you how bad of a label TDE is when it can be 5 or 6 people because you don't release your artist's music.
Yeah.
And they continue to troll on social media and get people's hopes up and then drop another like Reason song. And Reason is not very good.
Oh. Are you going to get flack from the Reason stands from that?
There's not many Reason stands.
Okay.
He was cool at first, and then he kind of TDE's kind of like, we're gonna keep hyping this kid up, even though he has like the lowest talent out of everybody on the roster, and nobody really kind of wants more.
Oh.
And they just continue to do that, and then they hurt themselves because every time they make an announcement like this, everybody assumes it's Kendrick, and then that makes everybody angry at them when it's not. They're just digging themselves deeper.
Yeah.
But SZA project is greatly appreciated. An Isaiah Rashad album would be greatly appreciated. Absol album would be greatly appreciated. So
and Kendrick would not be appreciated.
Well, I'm thinking he's going to drop on PG Lang, his little other label.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why TDE would make an announcement. That's the first reason why. Second reason why is why would Kendrick, after being dormant for 4 years, make a return with a Twitter GIF that says the wait is over? That's like the least Kendrick thing to do.
Yeah.
Got to be over the top and like, you know, have an image of him looking completely different than the last time he made an album and be all artsy about it. So, but who knows? It could be. It could just be, here you go. But I doubt it.
Yeah. That's the 7th. I think that's coming out. Whatever it is.
Yeah, next Friday.
Yeah.
We'll see what it is.
We'll have to see. I'm sure by next podcast we'll know what it is.
Maybe.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Even if we're recording it on Thursday night, we won't know what it is. Like midnight, it's gonna come out.
I don't know. We'll see how they market this. TDE is horrible at marketing, so
Okay.
just not a fan. You know,
Wow.
they got immense talent, and then they just don't know how to manage anybody. It's like
Yeah.
you dropped once, and everybody loved you for it. Time to not release anything for 5 years.
Well, how much of that is the label? Like, it sounds
Well-
like these guys are kind of perfectionists if they're like Kendrick.
No.
No.
SZA has come out and said that like she wants to release more music, and the label won't let her.
Why?
I don't know.
That's not beneficial to anybody. Okay.
I don't know what they're doing over there.
They just
It's like
do
they
it.
built up one of the best like rosters of any hip hop label, and then the content that comes out of the label is so small. At least the past few years. It's been an issue since like 2017.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't listened to any SZA or any of the other people you mentioned. Should I listen to something before the 7th?
I mean, SZA is just really good R&B.
Okay.
She has, I think, Control is considered one of the best albums of the last decade.
That's the one sitting in her sitting in front of like the computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isaiah Rashad is highly regarded as well. He only has like 2 mixtapes, I think, though. They're pretty good.
Oh, there. He doesn't even have a full album?
I don't know if it's considered an album or not. The Sun's Tirade might be an album. I'm not sure. Let's check. Not ISIS.
Yeah, ISIS.
I would consider The Sun's Tirade an album.
Okay.
And then I think he has 1 mixtape then.
Well, he had
So
a
not a lot
single
of
come
content,
out.
but he's like, really good.
Okay.
It's been since 2016 since he's released an album.
There was a single last year.
There was, yeah. That was during that whole TDE did a week where every day a song from a different label member would come out. And then since Kendrick hasn't dropped in 3 years at that point, people were like, let's go. Friday's going to be Kendrick. They're building up to it. And then it was like Reason.
Oh.
They're not very good at marketing.
No,
over
they're
there.
not.
They just like to bait people and then have people get angry at them. And it's gotten past the point where people think it's funny and just like they're trolling. To the point where people are genuinely angry because it happens over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, they should stop doing that.
Yeah.
That is stupid.
Part of me thinks that's why Kendrick kind of started his own label.
Well, he's still attached though, isn't he?
Technically,
Okay.
I mean, he could release an album out under TDE because I think TDE is attached to Aftermath, which is the main label.
Mm.
But Kendrick is definitely in a position where he could leave all of it if he wanted to,
Oh, for sure.
which
Yeah.
I'm guessing is the route he's going to take. It wouldn't make sense for him to start up this whole thing and then have, Baby Keem drop stuff on that label and then for Kendrick to stay on TDE.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully something soon.
I'm sure it'll be something good. I just doubt it's Kendrick.
Yeah, it's just the way they said. Well, I guess since you've given me some background, it could be literally anything. But it was just because they said the wait is over.
Let me see if I can find the tweet. Some like hip hop numbers account posted the days since a last album or project from any TDE member. It constantly went into like the 1600s.
Really?
Yeah.
Man. That's like really bad business.
It is.
That doesn't make any sense. Well, while you're pulling that up, let me double check. Oh, frick. Yeah, there was a big thing that happened. I can't believe I almost forgot about this. I'll let you pull up that thing because, okay, what was, walk us
So
through.
the last project, it's like the days counting from it. Isaiah Rashad has not dropped anything in 1,708 days. Lance Skywalker, 1,662 days. Absol, 1,610. Kendrick, 1,484. SZA, 1,428. J-Rock, 1,000. Zakari, 784. Schoolboy, 742. Reason, 616. Sir, 616. Reason, 210.
Yeah, they like Reason.
I think that's everybody on the roster, that's a really, really bad track record.
Yeah, like
Where
these
have you?
people are making stuff.
And Sir is fantastic. And that's even 616. That came out 3 years ago. That's crazy.
Well, 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Still.
But Sir is fantastic. Recommend him.
Some artists like drop stuff like once a year. Yep. Granted, it's not usually consistent, but
like every 2 years is kind of a pretty good. Like Tyler the Creator, Billie Eilish, all those kind of people kind of do that. That's kind of the norm. But yeah, 1,700 days from your biggest and best like shining star as a rising artist hasn't dropped anything.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
They don't know. They don't know. I guess the moral of this podcast is that TDE is a stupid company.
Yep. All their artists make fantastic music, but they are not a good company.
Yeah. Like all of those, like, I'm sure that like if Kendrick and SZA just like left, like they totally could.
Yeah,
like
that's
SZA's
contract,
huge.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, Kendrick's at a point where he can just deal with it, but
right.
SZA's getting there.
I mean, she was on the Post Malone Hollywood's Bleeding album, for Pete's sake. Right? Yeah, no, Staring at the Sun was SZA.
Yeah, she was. Thanks.
Yeah, so she probably has the flexibility now. Now that she was on a Post Malone album, that is.
Of course, yeah. Post Malone is always the biggest thing.
That's right.
I feel like most of the artists on that album that were featured were bigger than Post Malone at that point.
I think you're probably right. I need to look at it. Like, well, I mean,
Large
like,
majority of them.
yeah. Wait, DaBaby was on this album?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, frick! I didn't. Oh. Yeah. Halsey, Future, Meek Mill, Lil Baby, Ozzy Osbourne, Travis Scott, SZA, Sway Lee, Young Thug.
Absolutely outclassed by all of his features. That's crazy.
Well, I mean now.
Still.
Yeah. I think he's like one of the biggest artists right now.
Yeah, but most of those people featured were just as big at that point.
At that point, yeah. But now he's like a freaking powerhouse, which I don't say lightly because I don't really like the fact that he's as big as he is, and I don't frankly see the general appeal, and I hope that he doesn't play into it. But he probably will.
I think he's going to.
I think he is too, because Hollywood's Bleeding was too commercial.
Yeah.
But we'll see whenever he drops a new album. I don't think we have any news about that.
Nope.
But speaking of someone who dipped and then came back, Bo Burnham is coming back to stand-up comedy.
All right.
One of the best stand-up comedians of our generation.
One of the only stand-up comedians I can watch.
Him and Dave Chappelle. I think of absolutely perfect comedy specials, I have 3. Dave Chappelle. Well, these are perfect comedians. You got Dave Chappelle, Bo Burnham, and John Mulaney. All of those guys are absolutely perfect, and they get comedy. Bo is really young, so that he's kind of like the outlier. John Mulaney was on SNL, and I don't know if he wrote for The Simpsons. I know he wrote for SNL. Dave Chappelle obviously had the Chappelle Show, dipped, and then came back, and is now one of the best stand-up comedians ever. And then Bo Burnham, He left stand-up comedy. He did 2 specials. The second one was not as good as What, but What is near perfect. He is like, I'm done with stand-up comedy. I have really bad anxiety, so getting up on stage is I'm having panic attacks as I'm doing stand-up. And I'm like, okay, I gotcha. Do you make movies? And then he made 8th grade, and 8th grade was great. I'm like, okay, Bo Burnham is going to be making movies, and he's a talented dramatic director, which is the weirdest sentence I've ever said. Like, if I said that in 2018, I wouldn't have believed me. That's all I'll say. But I'm like, okay, awesome. He makes a tweet, the first one since 8th grade came out, and he says, I'm releasing a new comedy special with no audience, and it's recorded in my house, and I've been filming it as I've been doing the quarantine, and it's called Inside, and it's dropping on Netflix soon. TM.
Sounds cool.
I was like, no audience? That's a little weird for a stand-up special. But if anyone can pull it off, it's Bo Burnham. I'm so excited for this. I think like it was so crazy when he posted that. Like so many like YouTubers have like come out and been like, this is like my most anticipated thing that's coming out this year, because of how influential Bo Burnham was on early YouTube. Because for those who don't know, he started as a YouTuber. I feel like a lot of people have kind of forgotten that just because of how big he's gotten as a stand-up comic. But he had a viral hit called I'm Bo-Yo. And after that, he just made like short little music comedy sketches when he was like a teenager. And then he just started doing stand-up out of nowhere with What. And now he's back. I don't know if he's back doing stand-up as a whole, but he is releasing a new special on Netflix. And I'm excited. I don't know. We don't know when it's coming out. But the announcement video, he actually did 2 tweets, which is crazy because he doesn't do Twitter. He's kind of like Donald Glover, where he like stays off of social media and then he drops something and then he is back for like a couple months and then he just dips. But Bo Burnham actually did 2 tweets where he did the announcement video and then he came back and apparently so many people were commenting because the announcement video is the last shot of What, which if you haven't seen it or if you don't remember, he does the stand-up bit and it has like this existential ending and then it's just him playing like keyboard in his home studio and then the door is like slightly cracked open and then the announcement video is him looking through the open door and it's the same room. And so like people were like, hey, how did you said that you were going to be all by yourself into quarantine. How did you get the shot from 5 years ago that is moving? You had to have had a camera guy. And he actually tweeted out and he was like, that's the shot from What? You guys are so stupid. Like, yeah. I recognized that immediately. But apparently everybody was complaining that that this was going to be a sham. So we'll see. That's all I'll say. I'm very excited. We don't have a release date because it's Bo Burnham, but that's great stuff. And I think with that, it's everything. I think. Let me double check my notes. I think we're all done. My notes are very unorganized.
That was a decently long pod.
1 hour and 43 minutes. I knew this one was going to be either long or incredibly dense, and we made it long, which is fine. It's a good podcast.
Yeah, dense.
You're dense.
Oh.
All right, 3,